From Minnesota today, Tina Boileau, Jonathan Pitre's mother. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Mark.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you. Now, how is Jonathan doing?
Well, he's had a pretty decent night of sleep. His fever is a lot better. He's still very tired and nauseous and weak, but we're taking it one day at a time.
And so when you say he's had a good night's sleep, I know the other night you had to get up every 15 minutes, every half hour to go to the bathroom because of this medication he's taking to avoid a bladder infection. So was last night a lot better than that?
It was a lot better. The chemo is done, as far as we know. As long as the graft versus host disease doesn't kind of start creeping up, we should be done with the chemo. So hopefully he should start feeling better. I was looking at his lab results today, so he will get a blood transfusion a little later today because his hemoglobin is a little low. But that's also part of everything he's going through.
Yeah. And so now is it just a matter of waiting and just trying to keep control over his health, his short-term health? Is that the main focus right now?
The main focus right now is preventing infections because his white blood cells are completely down. His immune system is at like 0, so that's like one of our main focus right now, and just taking it one day at a time, and hopefully in a few weeks from now we'll have good results. We'll have the fact that the graft took and that his white blood count is starting to show.
And how are you doing? Because I know you've been sleeping on the couch in his room. You've been getting up with him whenever he gets up. This has been an ordeal for you as well.
It has, but you know what? I mean, a small price to pay for, to see Jonathan being well again. I mean, I'm his mom, and I told him that I'd be seeing him through this. I've always been by his side. We're a team, and I wouldn't see myself being anywhere else.
Of course not. But at the same time, it is demanding, right? It's been a physical challenge for both of you.
It has. I mean, Thursday when he had the graft, I had my done in the morning, so my back was a little tender afterward, but it's very far from the heart, and it's very demanding, but I'm thinking that this is short-lived or a lifetime of better, right?
Yeah. What has the care been like for Jonathan in Minnesota?
His care has been pretty extensive. So, everything from the chemo to radiation to the graft last Thursday, and then 2 days of rest, 2 days of chemo. Even if he's not feeling well, and that's basically what's been going on for the last few weeks. We still have to do the 4-hour bath, and that's had to be kind of a change as well for us, trying to get used to a new environment and work through it when he's exhausted and very weak. It's been very challenging.
Yeah, but is the level of care, are you well looked after there?
Oh, you know what? I couldn't ask for better medical staff, honestly. The nursing, you go to the hospital for nursing care. We see the doctor once a day. That's kind of typical, but everybody's been quite amazing. It's actually nice to see a lot of people are aware of EB and have their own protocols to make it so that that they don't damage the skin more. Everybody's very supportive. It's a great hospital overall. If I'm not in Canada, I don't think that this, I can't think of a better place to be.
Yeah. And when you talk about protecting him from infection, what steps are being taken to do that? Is he, obviously he's not getting visitors. To what extent is he guarded from interaction with other people?
Well, he's in isolation, so he can't go anywhere. He's basically confined to his room so that he doesn't get exposed to anything, even the environment. He has to he can only drink out of a bottled water. He can't drink tap water. He can't eat leftover food. I can't share my food with him. It's just basic things that you would never think of. And then you go to more drastic where we need to do dressing changes every day just to make ssure that he doesn't get skin infections. And he's on a daily dose of antibiotics just to try to help prevent that. The people, like the nursing and stuff, all come in with gowns and gloves just to make sure that they don't spread anything in here, but also not take out anything in the other rooms. The unit is a pretty full unit, ranging from any child that would be getting a bone marrow transplant, not necessarily only for EB, but the ward is very full right now.
You mentioned the bath, and this is the process that you go through when you're back here at home. You go through every second day, and it's a 4-hour process. You've described it before, but obviously doing it there is a different experience. And as you mentioned, you're doing it when Jonathan's very tired and beaten up from all the treatment that he's been through. So that makes it even more challenging, I presume.
It sure does. And I mean, Jonathan has central lines inserted in the upper chest area, and we can't get that wet. So that's also a big challenge for us, because he's got four lines coming from out of his chest, and that can't be submerged into water at all. But yet he still has wounds that we have to kind of wet before removing the dressings off around his neck. So it's been a challenging process, just trying to adapt to a new bath and not getting that wet. You know, it just seems that our bath routine has kind of increased as far as toughness since we've been here, because we've had to adapt to so many other things that kind of carried on. So, I mean, something that would generally take us 4 hours might be taking us a little longer at this time.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you two are a team, and I think you know how many people, myself included, have been inspired by that, and how the two of you are together, and the love that you have for each other, and the respect, and just how you work together. Do you feel like you've never been more of a team than you have been the past week? Is this almost like the Super Bowl for the two of you?
That's pretty much it. I mean, good way to put it. But I mean, we spend a lot of time together, but this has really tested us completely. I mean, I'm in his space all the time, and I mean, I'm helping him through probably the toughest time in his life. I think that he looks for me whenever he wakes up. He makes sure that I'm in the room. He doesn't let anybody kind of do anything if I'm not around, if I just step out to go get a coffee or whatnot. So I think this has really sealed our relationship and brought us to a whole new different level as far as being able to get through stuff. We knew we were strong, but this really challenged and put us to the test. And I think we're doing a pretty good job at being winners in all of it.
Yeah, I think you're passing with flying colors from everything that I've read. Now, tell me a little bit about what Jonathan is doing. How is he spending his time? I know he's exhausted, but is he able to do anything to keep his mind off what he's going through?
You know what? And he's been really good. I can't complain. His spirits have been up. He's still cracks jokes. He still has the sense of humor that he always has during the day. Whenever he's not interrupted into doing anything, he'll either read or he started watching a couple of TV series. He has integrative therapy that he also gets. So there's a program here where you can get Reikis and you can get healing touch and all sorts of different things to kind of help control the pain and without medication. So he's been doing that as well. He's been doing music therapy. So I've been keeping him a little busy.
And I gather, I mean, you'll take it, right? If there's something on offer that might help him feel a little better, or even distract him for a while, then I'm sure it's like, sign me up, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, there's so much entertainment I can offer him, right? I mean, I spend every day with him 24 hours. At one point, I don't know what to tell him. So, I mean, I get kind of boring. So I'm so happy that he gets that exchange with other people. And he's just that little sponge. He loves everything. So he just enjoys getting all these new things that he's never experienced before. So it really keeps him busy. And I mean, it seems to be helping him to relax. So that's been a really big key in all of it.
Are you... maybe surprised isn't the right word, but what's your reaction to kind of how he's handling this? So I've read some of the comments that he's made in what Andrew Duffy has written in The Citizen. He just seems to have such a grown-up outlook about this, such a maturity, and I guess that's a result of everything he's been through, but it's also just who he is. So tell me about your own reaction to how he has handled all of this.
You know what? He never ceases to amaze me. Every time that I think he puts a smile on my face from how he takes everything and he takes things in strides. And I mean, he always comes out of it with a smile. I mean, this has been the most challenging time in his life. And I mean, he still comes out saying just the little key words, like I'll never give up, or, just having a smile on his face whenever something happens, or just being able to crack a joke. You could tell that he's fighting through it. He's giving it everything he has so that we can come home again. I have, through the 16 years, I've never seen him in this much pain, and I thought I had. But again, he just somehow manages to get the strength. I don't know from where, but I mean, he's the toughest person I know. And I mean, resilience is probably his biggest attribute, really.
Yeah. Well, the two of you are incredibly tough, and at the same time, very loving of each other and supportive of each other and very inspiring. You both are. Tina, thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck to
Thank you,
both
Mark.
of you. Say hi to Jonathan for us. Let him know that everybody in Ottawa is following every development and rooting for him and praying for him and crossing fingers and toes. And we'll continue to keep everybody here up to date because there's so many people in this community and beyond who care about what happens to Jonathan.
Absolutely. There's not a day that goes by that we can't wait to come home. So.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the case, but it's a long journey ahead. So
it sure is.
You'll have that. You can continue to feel that support of your community here in Eastern Ontario. Thanks, Tina.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Talk to you soon. Tina Boileau, Jonathan Pitre's mother.